We are live on Instagram. It looks like, okay, now we're live here on our StreamYard feed that goes to Twitter as well as Facebook and also YouTube. And it looks like we've got a excellent audience today. I think I'm seeing, if I'm reading this correctly, about 240 plus people, something like that, that have joined us. So welcome. I'm Eddie Stone. It's Thursday, and so nice to have this chance to connect with you for just a few moments. I've been excited about the chance to speak with everybody today. Really exciting for us what's going on. But before I get into that, I want to acknowledge this is the start of the second half of the year. And what a year 2020 has been. The global pandemic, which tragically still is a pervasive issue that we've not yet wrestled to the ground. And it's just interesting how these things come at us with sort of a bit of a dark humor to it. I remember not too many weeks ago, they were talking about murder hornets. And then all of a sudden, we've got all kinds of civil unrest and really challenging issues around the country here, particularly in the United States. But some of that has spilled over to the rest of the world. And then maybe it was designed to be somewhat comic relief. We've got a mummy movie level Sierra Desert sandstorm sweeping off much of North America. So it's been quite a time, and I'm not sure that 2020 so far hasn't felt like a decade instead of just 6 months. But here we are, and through all of this, as we sort of take a deep breath and sort of gather ourselves for the last half of the year and the challenges that remain to be dealt with, I am so impressed with people. We're battered and bruised really in the U.S. and around the globe, and yet we keep getting up. I mean, the amount of resilience that people show and the care and compassion that they are extending. I mean, I acknowledge it's not in all situations, but the care and compassion that people are extending to their fellow man, and it's just remarkable. And I don't want us to have anything else thrown at us, but I know that we can handle it. I just believe deeply in people and what they can do. And I also want to just take a moment and recognize all those individuals that we define as being sort of on the front lines for medical care, but also just keeping our society going. So many categories. I won't try to get into naming them all, but I'm so impressed and truthfully inspired. I'm a fortunate person. I don't find myself on a front line. We have been fortunate to keep our business going through all of this and play our role in trying to contribute to people taking better care of their health from a respiratory and an immune standpoint, and providing an income opportunity in our category. And so that is exciting for me that we get a chance to do that. But for those individuals sacrificing, taking on risk on the front line here in the United States and around the world, we're just so thankful for you. And I hope that you feel the appreciation that we have from an everyday citizen standpoint, which is who I am, that we're just so impressed. And so as we connect today, my main focus, and I'm so excited about this, is to be able to extend a very warm welcome to the more than 10,000 VBOs, visionary business owners, and customers that have joined Touchstone Essentials over the last several weeks. It has just been a remarkable expansion of our community, and it's something I am thrilled to be a part of. We saw ourselves having an impact on a global scale with tens of thousands of people in this manner when we launched this company some 8 years ago, and to see that come together and to see the role that can play in helping us fulfill our dream and our goal of impacting 1 million families worldwide from a health and vitality and opportunity standpoint. It's just remarkable. And this journey that we're on, I've got a staff that I'm deeply appreciative to. I've got all kinds of individuals that help us from a contract standpoint with supporting services and business partners. But it's really our visionary business owners and customers that take on this mantle of being advocates for our products and what we do, and their willingness to share their stories, that social proof that drives who and what we are and what we do. And we're so thankful and we're so proud to be able to work with you and be a part of this journey with you. And so I thought I would put together just a couple of comments. I'm going to keep this brief today. I know for a lot of people around the world, summertime, you've got a lot of things going on you want to take care of. Here in the United States, we've got a very special holiday coming up this weekend. Our offices will be closed tomorrow. It's our Independence Day. I know around the world, Independence Day is celebrated different times of the year, but maybe you can sort of adopt this moment to say we recognize your Independence Day. I think we just had Canada Day not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken, just this past week. And so it's exciting in that regard. I've been fortunate to be a part of this industry for some 30 years, and I can hearken back pretty clearly in my mind that moment that I got involved some 30 years ago. And I'll admit to you that when I was first introduced to the industry and made a decision to get involved, I did not, completely grasp what the opportunity was. I saw a chance to be involved in some health products, which is what the opportunity was that I got involved with. And I saw a chance to build a business. And what struck me was the chance to do that without the traditional financial risk and responsibilities. And I'm an optimistic person. I thought it was the kind of thing that could become big business and not small. But like so many people, when you join, you're uncertain, right? There's this mixture of excitement, but also uncertainty. And to be involved in this world and this community for the past 30 years, I can just tell you my life has been impacted in ways that I cannot fully express, but I am so very thankful for. I am completely satisfied that I am a better husband. I'm a better father. I'm a better citizen to our world and our community, all because of the influences of this enterprise and the fact that it draws from you your strengths and those things that are weaknesses. It helps you build up, and those things that need work, it will help to polish down. And so I would wish for each of you to have a journey that can be that fulfilling for you. I'll tell you right up front, you've got to put work into it, right? But if you put that work into it and you stay focused, it's the kind of thing that can be enriching in ways that I don't believe any other kind of enterprise can do, because of the social network, the social aspect, and the interaction with people and relationship building that's necessary on a daily basis. And so whatever your goals and dreams are, and I don't say this with hyperbole, whatever your goals and dreams are, I believe anything is possible. The only limitation here is the limitations that you put upon yourself. Now, how fast we get there has a lot to do with circumstances and the time and energy and effort that you've got to put into it. But all can be accomplished if we just maintain that focus. And remember, there's a team aspect to this where you get to leverage people and experiences, as well as technology, as well as the company, as well as the products. And there'll be time enough for that to be learned. But here's sort of three things that I want to start off with that I would ask you to keep in mind for those that are brand new to us. And this is really true whether you're a new customer, someone that just sees yourself as an advocate, or someone that wants to develop an organization with us. Not even, maybe it's just locally, or you want to develop it globally. All those things are possible. And the first is take a moment, right? Take a breath. I always do this sort of halfway through the year. Take a breath and take stock in where you're at from a health standpoint, from a business standpoint. Where are you at today that you may want to impact or change the outcome of in the future, whether we're talking about 6 months, a year, or whatever. But the first things first is to take stock and be realistic. Maybe you take a piece of paper and you put a couple sentences down. Most of you, though, will probably only need a few moments to say, okay, here's where I'm at today. And here's one bit of advice on this. Don't be critical. Wherever you are, that's where you are. Don't allow yourself to be judgmental, right? That self-judgment and negative self-talk is not going to do us any good. I want you to be realistic in assessing your situation, identifying these areas that you, not me, not anybody else, that you want to advance. So you're going to take stock, but I don't want you to beat yourself up, and I don't want you to apply judgment to it, okay? And here's the first thing I want you to do. Here's where you are. Where do you want to be in 6 months? And where do you want to be in 3 years? I mean, if you want to take the time to go further or change those distances and dynamics, I encourage you to do that. But we can accomplish a lot if you just say to yourself, here's where I'm at today. Here's where I want to be in 6 months. and 3 years, right? Those are two timelines. I kind of call them short term and sort of mid long term, but they're good opportunities and good places to sort of pull over to the side and take stock again, right? So here's where I'm at right now. And this is where I want to be in 6 months. Here's what I want to be in 3 years. So first things first, take stock. Second, identify where you want to be 6 months and 3 years. And then here's the third thing. And this one's the most important. It's more important than any of the other things I can share with you. How committed are you to that outcome? How committed are you to where you want to be in 6 months and 3 years? Because no matter where you're at, if you want to advance, it's going to require sacrifice, and sacrifice is inconvenient. It's disruptive. It's disruptive to your schedule. It's disruptive to your family's schedule. It's disruptive in all kinds of ways. Now, that doesn't mean it's not possible, and that doesn't mean the disruption is so much that it's not doable or it's unattractive. I'm just being realistic with you, and I think you realize intuitively what I'm saying. To make change or to grow or to advance yourself, it's disruptive to this current state of being because by definition, right, that's what it means to grow and learn and change. And it's disruptive in this way. Are you going to have to invest time to learn a new set of skills? Are you going to have to disrupt your eating habits? What you've been doing that have gotten you off track to get you where you want to go? Is it going to be disruptive because you've got to develop some new health habits? Maybe you've got to put some movement into your schedule, simple walking or something more advanced. Is it disruptive because you've got to take the time to lay out and think about tomorrow's meal planning and where you're going to fit in your super green juice or your protein or your wellspring or your pure body extra or whatever it happens to be? Because if you don't sort of confront these issues, we'll get 6 months down the road and we won't have reached our goals and expectations. And if we're not careful, our internal self will digest that failure as a lack of commitment. That's a real thing, right? We won't get into all the psychology here, but if you don't sort of pair up where you want to go with how committed you are to it, realizing sacrifice is going to occur, then it's very difficult to know or even believe that that can happen. And your mind is smart. You're a smart person. Your subconscious and your conscious, it's smart. It recognizes when you're really serious about something, and it recognizes when you're not. And when you're committed to something and the mind, body, soul realizes that you're just going to find that it may feel like magic, but all the oars are pulling together, right? The dialogue that you're saying verbally out loud, what's going on internally, when those things match up, that's when mind, body, and soul start pointing in that right direction. And so here's a bit of advice in this regard. When you decide how committed you are, I encourage you to create a scale of 1 to 10. 1 to 10. If you've identified 3 things that you want to happen, you want this to happen from a health standpoint, you want this to happen from an activity standpoint, you want this to happen from a personal standpoint, right? Whatever those happen to be, when you make the level of importance known to yourself, right? You write it down, you look at it on a scale of 1 to 10. If your commitment's not at least an 8, a 9, or a 10 to that end game, then it's unlikely to occur. If you say, I want to lose 5 pounds and I'm committed, say 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, psychologically speaking, and looking at the research that's out there in this arena, it's unlikely to occur because we sort of intuitively know how important something is, and we're all familiar with, for the most part, scales. And so I'm asking you to be honest and not fool yourself about your level of commitment, but you may need to adjust the outcome you want to match better up with the commitment, which is really indicative of the amount of sacrifice or uncomfortableness that you're willing to go through to get there. And so assess where you are, identify where you want to go, and then scale it 1 to 10 on how committed you are to that outcome. And if you're confident enough and you have the kind of relationship enough with the people you're working with in this endeavor, share that with them, because when we're all in it together, the chances of success are just that much more likely, right? And we're all about you achieving you and you being the best you. So that's first things first, is those 3 things. Next thing to do is to contact the person, connect with the person that you're going to be working with, it's most likely the person that introduced you to the enterprise, right? They'll be listed as your enroller and your sponsor. And if it's not, then find the person that is. And then I want you to talk to them to establish some ground rules about your working relationship. Because if you want to maximize your potential, and I'm going to talk more about that in just a moment, it's important to have a connection with someone. Maybe they're not a coach, maybe they are a coach, but they're a partner in this enterprise, and establish a working relationship, right? Express to them when you plan on working to this, how you like to have communications coming your way, right? So we've got this dialogue, and when there's something that needs to happen or something needs to be said, there's no hesitation. Here's one of the first things that happens. I always say to someone when I'm working with them, hey, listen, if I see you get off track based upon the goals and things you've expressed to me, how would you like me to handle that? Would you like me to say nothing and watch you, get off track and not ultimately achieve your goal and where you want to go? Or would you like me to reach out and say, hey, listen, I don't know what's going on, but here's what you said you wanted to do, and here's the actions I'm seeing you take, which seems to be incongruent, right? So tell the person you're working with, do you want to have that expressed to you, or do you want it to be ignored? Probably your willingness to sort of listen when you're off track, assuming everybody's trying to be constructive, will be based upon how committed you are. But this is critical, and this is important to your success, right? Is to be able to have these dialogues here. We're adults, right? And so it's important to confront things as they are, and healthy communications, even when things are off track, are an important aspect of this. Here's the next thing I want you to do. I want you to download the Touchstone Essentials app that we've created in partnership with Verb. If you're new to the business, by now you've probably done this. If you haven't, you've received a link to this app. This app will download on any smartphone. If you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, I want you to get with the person that brought you into the business and connect with them, because this app is the essential hub of this enterprise. It is the key to your success, because it is a tool that can be utilized by anybody getting involved in the business, right? So this hub, this key, this app is the key to your success. Our business is successful, and so profoundly better than other enterprises, because of the ability to leverage your time, leverage your energy, leverage your talents, and literally this becomes a business from phone, and enabling you to be successful and leverage yourself and your time and energy anywhere you want to. Even if you're only able to repurpose even just 15 minutes from the least productive part of your day using this app, that 15 minutes can be ultra effective at utilization of your time. So with that, I've identified the three things we want you to do, right? Assess where you are, assess where you want to go, actualize and realize and acknowledge your level of commitment, get with the person that got here, establish those ground rules for working together, download the app, and really just that simple, less than a dozen things, less than a half dozen things you can do, and you can go out there and be successful. In terms of things going on company-wise, we have extended the free BBO pass for the month of July. We recognize now more than ever, given sort of the global economic environment, other things, people need all the help they can get to access opportunity. That free BBO pass is going to be extended. So with that, we hope that 10,000 new members or so of our community will be able to better utilize that to develop their business and reach out and help people. And ultimately, selfishly, we hope that just one more way we kind of get closer to that 1 million people around the world that we want to positively impact. So you've got that there. That's in sort of in your pocket from a business promotion standpoint. So with that, that's what I wanted to share with you today. We're going to celebrate and recognize our independence with our holiday, our 4th of July holiday this coming weekend. Wherever you are and whenever that is for you, I hope that you're able to sort of recognize the freedoms to go out there and be who you want to be, and be the commander and the chief of your own body, your own mind, your own soul, and your own future. It's one of the aspects of this business that I really deeply appreciate, is being able to do that. For all of our independent business owners, our VBOs, for all of our customers that advocate for who we are and what we do, thank you. Thank you as sincerely as I know how to express it from myself, my family, the staff, and the team. We love to have this opportunity to be in this with you. Our mission is to be a part of you reaching the full measure of your potential and success from a health and a wealth standpoint. That's sort of who we are. That's our DNA. That's what we do. And we're proud of that job and proud of the ability to do it. And we wake up with that sort of foremost on our mind on a daily basis. So with that, I'm Eddie Stone. Goodbye for now, and make the next several hours the most they can possibly be. Thank you.